How's it going? Welcome back to the Daily Grind. We are here yet again on another Coretec stone replacement. Let's see if the product is at fault or what is the deal. Okay, so I gotta say this Coretec stone is a different beast in itself. So I wanted to be sure what I was talking about before I came on here and claimed anything, and sure enough, I called the manufacturer technical support this morning, and Coretec stone is recommended to have a 1/4 inch expansion gap all the way around the perimeter unless it reaches over 2,500 square feet, and then the expansion jumps up to a 1/2 inch. So 1/4 inch for most household jobs. If you're in a bigger place, full house or something like that, 2,500 square feet and above, the expansion needs to be a 1/2 inch. So just wanted to point that out and notify or clarify everything. Actually, watch this. You're not going to be able to see it. Watch the gap close. See that? There you go. Watch this. Well, you can't see it, but look at there. See that? This is installed over a ceramic tile also, which is okay by the manufacturer, so long as it's in tolerance. Tolerance is 1/8 every 6 foot or 3/16 over a 10-foot span. So I've noticed a couple humps here. We're gonna fix and tear this up and see just how dramatic this is and see what needs to happen to make it all right. Okay, quite honestly, we're at this point again. I do not see a problem failure or a product failure on this job. It happens so much, and people may think that I'm just out here saying, oh, so-and-so didn't do this or so-and-so did that, and that's why. Well, I only point out the facts, okay? I don't put my opinions in these, and so much where like I said a while ago, I called the manufacturer. That way I could know what I was talking about whenever I made a judgment on this job. They put those specifications and recommendations out there for a reason. If they are not followed, there's no wonder there is problems on these jobs, okay? Clearly that tile should have been addressed and gone over. I'll show you more of that in just a few minutes. Clearly that should not have been gone over. It has zero prep to it. And it's definitely not manufacturer specs, I promise you. It was tight somewhere on almost every wall. There was not expansion. There was not expansion in more places than there was expansion. Say, well, it's a stone product, it's not going to grow. Well, the manufacturer puts that in there for a reason, a 1/4 inch, okay? The grout lines are not over a 1/2 inch. So technically, if it is to if it is to CRI guidelines, which 1/8 over, if your floor is out of flatness, 1/8 over 6 foot, it needs to be dealt with, or 3/16 and 10 foot. it's clearly not up to CRI guidelines. It's not flat enough to install straight over, okay? You've seen that hump in there. I seen so much more a while ago, but the client was standing right there. I didn't want to talk too much about that. Again, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus. If I come out to do a job, I feel it's my responsibility to figure out what's wrong, why did this job fail, and let you guys know so you don't do it in the future, and figure out why the job failed and install it in a way that it will not fail. Do the process, proper prep, whatever it needs to do to where it will not fail in the front, where it will not fail whenever I install it. So again, not throwing anybody under the bus, simply stating facts. Let's see under that. Okay, so this is definitely a low spot right through here, and I'm going to do further examining to see if it is in fact a low spot or if there is a high spot over here or back here. So by doing that, I'm going to slide my straight edge back. Okay. You can definitely see there is a right here. Look. Might be what actually might be the case is there might be a hump right here is what it's looking like. Quite honestly, because now we got play on both ends. Yep, so there looks to be a high spot here, and quite honestly, right down there I can actually visually see it. It looks like a high spot right there and right here. I'm going to do further checking on this just to verify what I've came up with, and if that be the case, to get rid of these high spots. So rather than floating out this whole end, that low spot, and that whole end to make it match these high spots, what I'll probably do is just tear out that tile directly across the room right there and float it down level with the rest versus trying to make everything else up high to match that high spot, because there's a hump across the floor right there and a hump across the floor right down there. So I'll tear those tile out, fill them, make them flat with the rest of the floor, because I can definitely see it. I think there's going to be a high spot right there too from the way the plank looked. That actually might be a low spot. We can check it out right now and see. It looks like there might be a low spot right here in this doorway. Okay. So, are you able to see under there? See the daylight in it? So there is a low spot there, but also down on that far end, you see the clay right there? So it's teetering right here. So this is going to be another hump. I will also take out this section right here of tile and fill it with floor patch, and I'll just continue to go over the whole floor with my straight edge. Any high spots, we're going to tear the tile out, float it out with floor patch, and also we're going to go over the entire floor also to get rid of these grout lines. They're not a 1/2 inch, so technically we don't have to fill them. They're 3/8, but they're deep enough to where it's going to be problematic, I believe. So we are going to fill. We're going to fill everything. We're going to make sure this don't happen. This is the 3rd time this floor has been tore up and redid. My first time, and it will be the last time. We're going to do it right, like it should be. There ain't going to be no problems after this one. So we're going to take the time and do what we got to do to make it last forever. And I think that's gonna make it. Get all this cleaned up, and we will prime it and mud it. A little bit of something right here too, Not too crazy, but just a little bit. Okay, we got everything primed. We got everything up, cleaned, primed, fixing to start doing some mud work. I don't know how much we're gonna get done. I at least want to get this filled in right here. All those spots where the tile come out, that may be all we able to get done today. Wasn't really planning on all this much work for prep, so we may end up running out of mud. I brought 20 pounds. I got two 10-pound bags, and I don't think that's going to get it. So we'll probably just get all this stuff filled up, if we even get all this stuff filled up. But nonetheless, we'll just do what we got to do with. It's almost 3 o'clock anyway. It took all day long to get to this point right here, which we got about a 45 minute drive, something like that, on the way over here. So we got kind of a late start this morning anyway, but we will try to get all this deep spots like this filled in, and then maybe tomorrow we'll just have some all the grout lines to fill and stuff like that. Even though I tore that high spot out right there, there is a little bit of a sag. You can see right here where I was going to tear that out, and then I decided not to because I further testing with my straight edge, I realized that that was a little bit low. So it did, however, tremendously affect the unlevelness, taking out these high spots. I've already checked that again, and it done phenomenal. I can actually, let me see here if I can do this. Luke's out mixing up mud right now, so let me see if I can do this by myself here. So with this now laid on, it's going to almost just barely almost hit that edge right over there. So what's this? It should, see that? You can come in right there. So it is hitting that, so you can definitely tell that that was high right there. So, and also it is now on the floor all over except for where we tore it out. So getting rid of those high spots was a big improvement. But anyway, like I said, right in that area there, I'm still going to have to build up some. So I think that's going to be it. Just raising it up a little bit right there. Everywhere else, I feel like it's going to be pretty good. Just filling these back in and then going over and getting all the grout lines level. So we'll do that, and then we'll see what we got going on. Well, that's it. We went 2 bags on what we got done there. Actually, a little bit more than 2 bags because we had a little bit partial of a bag, but nonetheless, we got 1, 2, almost 2. We still like a little bit right there, but as far as floor patch, that was it. We'll be back in the morning, fixing to call it a day. We can't really do anything else. We got no more floor patch. So again, that whole section right there in front of the fridge will have to be elevated up a little bit, and tomorrow I will have my air sled where I can get the refrigerator out of here as well. So that way I can get all of that prepped. I don't want to just stop right there, because then it's going to be like a little ramp, because that whole area's got to come up. So we will see what's going on. I mean, tomorrow we will get the rest of this prepped, and Lord willing, be able to start installing, Lord willing. Alrighty, that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Daily Grind. Until tomorrow, FBSB's out.